In AI and deep fake news, people are already now going to court claiming that videos are deep fakes. So, unsurprisingly enough, right, people are saying in court or arguing that videos that are in fact authentic are actually deep fakes. And this, of course, is an issue that is just beginning to percolate in the legal community because this is just beginning to be a problem. And we will see more and more of this, particularly as deepfake technology gets better and better. Right now, the deepfakes aren't that good. They're pretty good, but they're not quite court ready good. But you don't have to give it too many years. And we'll be in a position where even in court, it'll be really hard to tell the difference, even for experts. So, this issue is just beginning to percolate. So let's learn a little bit more. In 2016, Elon Musk went on stage in Los Angeles and said the following about Teslas, quote, "A Model S and Model X at this point can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person. Right now," he said in 2016. So the autonomous driving better than a person, according to Elon Musk in 2016. This all came back to light recently as part of a lawsuit that was brought by a man who died while the Tesla was using this self-driving feature. So the people in suing the company, Tesla, because the car was driving itself, said, hey, it's supposed to be safer than a person, using this quote to try to use some liability. But the car maker's lawyers pushed back. So they said that Musk, like many public figures, is the subject of deepfake videos and audio recordings that purport him to show saying things and doing things he never actually said or did. So although the quote was authentic and the incident was authentic and the video has been up on YouTube for 7 years, so faking this 7 years ago would have been really hard. But they try to say, hey, there are deepfakes out there, so maybe this is just one of them. Thanks, of course, to artificial intelligence, it's become easier to create images and videos. This is becoming a bit of a problem. But one of the problems is also that it's raising concerns that it will become easier to claim anything is fake. So one of the ways people might be able to escape legal liability is by saying these things aren't real. Maybe the video of me talking right now isn't real. Maybe I'm not really uncivil law. Maybe this is all one big deep fake. And if it's not a deep fake yet, maybe it will be soon. Maybe we can just completely automate the uncivil law experience. Glorious. Quote, "This is exactly what we're concerned about. We've entered this age of deep fakes that anyone can deny reality. This is a classic liar's dividend," according to digital forensic expert and professor Hani Farad. So yeah, the liar's dividend is a term that was coined in 2018 relating to the challenges of deepfakes. The idea is people become more aware of how easy it is to fake audio and video. Bad actors can weaponize the skepticism. Simply put, a skeptical public will be primed to doubt the authenticity of real audio and real video, which, yeah, this is going to be definitely a problem as we move into the future. How will you be able to tell real audio and real video? Because people are working on AI in every domain, including AI chatbots, of course, and AI avatars, AI VTubers are being created. So we're definitely heading in that direction for sure. In the case at hand, of course, the judge didn't buy the claims. The judge writing in response to an order to Musk to testify under oath, saying what Tesla is contending is deeply troubling. Their position is that because Musk is famous and might be more of a target for deepfakes, the public statements are therefore immune. In other words, Mr. Musk and others in his position can simply say whatever they like in the public domain, then hide behind the potential for recorded statements being deepfakes to avoid taking ownership. The court is unwilling to set such a precedent. Well, maybe today they're unwilling to do it, but it's going to happen. And it's definitely going to happen. Someone's going to introduce a deep fake as evidence. So someday a court's going to have to really deal with this issue. So not today, but it's going to not be too many years from now. Two of the defendants on trial for the January 6th attack on the Capitol tried to claim that they were deepfaked. Lawyers for one of the defendants cited a 2017 deepfake of Obama created by researchers as a reason for court to doubt footage that had been taken of the incident on January 6th. But of course, well, not so much right now. So that some videos can be faked and that this video is faked, no. But someday it's going to be really hard to tell the difference. While threats of deepfakes being offered as evidence is real, the courts have built up resilience against efforts to introduce fake or tampered evidence, beginning with faking someone's signature and going through typed or mimeographed documents, Photoshop, digital photographs, videos, film videos. So manipulation of evidence and manipulation of things has been something, of course, that the law has dealt with. But the problem is one of scale, I think, is the big difference. So yes, Photoshop is a thing. Digital manipulation of photos and videos is a thing. Faking signatures is a thing. But the issue is one of scale. Right now, even to Photoshop, it takes effort. It doesn't take as much effort as it used to when you had to do it, with physical medium and manipulating photographs with physical. But so it's quicker, but even still, it takes a human being to do it. And the amount of Photoshop is not that much compared to the amount of authentic photographs. There's way more authentic photographs than there are Photoshop photographs. So right now, the scale is not such that the law can't deal with this. But as AI becomes bigger and generates more and more content, the scale issue is going to become an issue. So it is definitely more likely as we go forward that courts will have to deal with this. Now, there are ethical rules for lawyers. So one of the ways we can deal with this is through ethics rules, because lawyers aren't allowed to say shit. They're not allowed to make frivolous arguments. But then again, of course, in the future, lawyers may not even really know what's true or not. So like me arguing now, oh, this is fake, when I don't have any belief on that, would be me being a bad lawyer, an unethical lawyer. Right? I can't go into court under the rules of ethics and make an argument that this is fake if I have no reason to believe that. But in the future, I may not be able to know the difference. So yes, ethics rules for the moment are a barrier, but in the future, okay. Right now, it's sort of the wild, wild west where lawyers can say, well, let's run this up the flagpole. But in the future, it's not even that. Juries may come to expect even more evidence that things are real, which is comparable to the old CSI effect. So one of the things that we saw with CSI and shows like that was that juries began to demand more forensic evidence in the form of like DNA and stuff. And if they didn't have DNA, they wouldn't convict. Of course, there was a time when DNA didn't exist, and we got convictions. And some prosecutors have noted that juries have sometimes demanded this kind of evidence, even in cases where it's not appropriate. They're just so used to seeing it from TV, where it's like always like the smoking gun of the DNA or the fingerprint or the photograph, that the standards became higher for a lot of places. And a lot of prosecutors had to work actively against this problem. And now with AI deepfakes, we're going to see even more of it. If lawyers start to get juries to demand bells and whistles to prove a piece of evidence is not fake, that's a way for lawyers and clients who are seeking to downplay evidence to run up bills and make it more expensive, more time consuming for their side to get evidence, which of course could be a problem for access to justice for people with less money. So as you demand more and more proof, it gets more and more expensive, and that can be a way for people with money to shut down people without money. So it becomes another mechanism to perhaps deny equal justice on the basis of monetary reserves. Denying real events actually occurs, of course, has coercive effects. People worry about a world where people no longer believe documented evidence of police violence, human rights violations, or a politician saying something inappropriate. And we wind up in a situation where suddenly there might not be a perception that things are real, no more reality. So, a certainly troubling future that's just beginning to develop in the legal world when it comes to deepfakes. Thus, that brings us to the end of this story, highlighting an issue that is just beginning to really rock the legal world: AI, deepfakes, and people claiming things are deepfakes even when they're not, and even when they know better, to be quite honest. But this is an issue that is going to percolate, and it's an issue that's going to grow. And deepfake audio, deepfake video, deepfake everything is becoming more and more realistic. So these kinds of defenses are definitely going to be something that's going to become more and more viable. And we're going to have to figure out ways to tell when things are real and things are fake. And it's going to become harder and harder because the AI learns from its own mistakes. So something that is definitely an issue just beginning to develop. And that, for the moment, brings us to the end of discussion of this story.